Welcome back to the Crypto Bot channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is running into this critical area of resistance again, as the price is still flashing this short-term warning signal, while more liquidity is building to the downside after Bitcoin just liquidated a bunch of short positions, while Ethereum is still playing out this bullish divergence, but on smaller time frames is now flashing a new warning signal. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin chart, and right now the super trend indicator is still sitting in the red, so getting straight into the 2-day time frame. Right now we're technically still within the larger bearish trends because we've not yet seen a confirmed breakout above 68,000, but obviously as of right now the price of Bitcoin is getting closer to that major breakout level. So it's not there just yet, but it's getting closer to that level. So for all we know, at least as of right now, it's still possible that this could just be a short-term bullish trend during a larger bearish trend, unless we see a breakout here, because obviously we have seen this type of price action many times over the last 6 months or so, and all of those previous times did not result in a longer term bullish trend. They were just shorter term bullish trends that last for just a few weeks or so during the much larger bearish trend. And so ultimately, we still need to see a confirmed breakout above this line of resistance sitting at approximately $68,000 in order to actually start to become confident in a longer term bullish trend, not just a short term bullish trend, but a bullish trend that could last for many months, not just a few weeks. Once again, we need to see a breakout above around 68,000 in order to expect that. But for now, the short term is still bullish, as I've already been saying over the last few weeks. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin chart, looking at the DXY over the last half a week approximately, we've seen a lot of choppy sideways price action in the DXY. So ultimately, not a lot of new information to look at on this chart right here. So getting straight into this daily Bitcoin chart, and right now the price of Bitcoin is still running into this major area of resistance, sitting in between around 64.1k to 64.5k approximately. And so at least for now, that is still acting as major resistance for the price of Bitcoin, at least in the short term. But if we can see a confirmed breakout above 64,500 in the short term, that would be a very bullish signal, because that would be basically a breakout above the previous high, which would really be the first higher high that we've seen in a long time here for the price of Bitcoin on the daily time frame. And also, if we see a breakout above around 64,500 with confirmations the candle closes above that level, then that would mean that there's no chance that a hidden bearish divergence could actually confirm here. Because like I said in my last video, there's the possibility of a hidden bearish divergence that's forming right now, because at least as of right now, at the time of recording this video, and as I said in my last video, the price of Bitcoin is still currently sitting in lower highs based on the daily candle closes, but the RSI has already confirmed higher highs, which means a hidden bearish divergence is forming. But like I said in my last video, I want to make it clear that this potential hidden bearish divergence is not yet confirmed. So it is not yet playing out as of right now, and might not end up confirming at all if we see a breakout very soon in the coming days above 64,500. And so ultimately, the short-term trend is still bullish, because we've not yet confirmed a trend reversal in the short term. But with that being said, this is a make or break moment over the next few days for the price of Bitcoin, as the price is running into a critical level of resistance where we previously had a strong rejection from. And also, if we actually see another strong rejection from that resistance, like what we saw last time, then that would confirm this hidden bearish divergence, which for now has not yet confirmed. And so ultimately, we just need to wait and see over the next few days, over the next half a week approximately, to see if we see a breakout or confirming the hidden bearish divergence. But ultimately, we're just waiting for more confirmation here on this daily Bitcoin chart. And now, if we end up seeing a bit more of a rejection, the levels of support that I'll be watching are first of all sitting at close to 63,000. Below 63k, we have more support at around 61.9k, and this major area of support sitting in between around 60.2k to 61.2k. But if we see a confirmed breakout above around 64,500, in that case, we'll likely see a move up towards this area, which should act as strong resistance based on previous price action and the volume profile indicator, and that area is sitting in between around 67 to 68,000. And once again, if we see a confirmed breakout above 68,000, it would become extremely likely in that scenario that we'll soon enter into new all-time highs and continue a bull run over the next few months, at least, if we first see a confirmed breakout above 68,000. So that is a critical level, but for now, once again, 64,500 is the level to watch. And if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, obviously over the last one day, we saw another little spike to the upside here, which actually took out some upside liquidity, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But this ultimately pulled the RSI back up towards nearly overbought territories here on the 4-hour time frame. So basically, we quickly ran out of room to the upside here because we only saw a small reset over the last few days. And so this is why it's healthy to see these larger pullbacks or resets along the way during a bullish trend, because that helps to reset the RSI further to the downside, giving us much more room to the upside in the price later on to continue the bullish trend after seeing a bit of a pullback along the way. But as we can see here, because we only saw a very slight reset, no major pullback or anything like that over the last few days here, that only slightly reset the RSI, which did give us some more room to the upside here in the short term, but ultimately not a lot of room to the upside, unlike what we saw last time. But the good news is that over the last few hours, the RSI has already reset away from overbought territories. So we already now have a little bit more room to the upside again, technically speaking. And for now, the trend in the short term is technically still bullish. But with that being said, there is something to pay attention to on this 4-hour time frame, which is a potential bearish divergence, as we can see on this 4-hour Bitcoin charts. Because obviously, as of right now, the price has confirmed a new higher high in the candle closes, while the RSI is still sitting in lower highs here on the 4-hour time frame. And so this is somewhat similar to an overbought signal, which is basically telling us we're due to see a bit of a reset or a bit of a cool off from the bullish price action, because usually a bearish divergence most commonly plays out in the form of either choppy sideways price action or a slight pullback over the next few days if we're talking about the 4-hour time frame. And now, once again, that is just what is most likely based on what we've previously seen throughout Bitcoin's history. And of course, nothing is 100% guaranteed, but we're most likely going to see a bit more of a short-term cool-off, at least over the next 1 or 2 days, as a result of this bearish divergence, which so far is technically confirmed by 2 candle closes in the red. But as always, a bearish divergence is not necessarily a trend reversal signal, which means it's possible we could see a slight cool off here and then ultimately continue the bullish trend later on with a confirmed breakout above this key resistance. And so that is the situation right now for Bitcoin. At least for now, we have not yet confirmed a reversal out of the larger bearish trend. But during this larger bearish trend, we're currently within a short-term bullish trend, as we've seen many times during this larger bearish trend, and would only really confirm the reversal out of that short-term bullish trend into a new short-term bearish trend, like here or here, for example, if we see this hidden bearish divergence confirm, which could happen over the next few days if the price does not break out above this resistance in the next few days, and if we see a further rejection. And if you want to trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I take just about all of my trades over on Bybit, so I'll make sure to leave a link to Bybit down below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link below this video to make a Bybit account and deposit on that account, then you can get up to a $30,000 deposit bonus, but only if you use that link down below this video. And also, if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here, which is a massive lucky draw happening right now over on Bybit, where you could potentially win up to $100,000 just by trading crypto using the link down below this video. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link down below this video. But for whatever reason, if you cannot access Bybit or if you cannot KYC on Bybit, there is Bitfinex, which is another crypto exchange similar to Bybit, but you don't need KYC for Bitfinex, which means if you're in the US or the UK, for example, or another country where you might not be able to access Bybit, you can access access Bitfinex. So I'll also leave a link to Bitfinex down below this video. And if you use that link, you can get up to a 5.5k deposit bonus. And only if you use the link below this video to make your Bitfinex account, you can get an exclusive 10% discount on all trading fees on the Bitfinex exchange forever. But that is only if you use the link below this video to make your Bitfinex account. And so as another option out there other than Bybit, once again, there's Bitfinex, links down below if you want to claim those extra bonuses. And with that being said, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and we can see over the last one day, we took out that upside liquidity, which I talked about in my last video. I said just yesterday that we have now liquidity to the upside and to the downside. So I said it's likely that we could see a bit of choppy sideways price action here in the short term to potentially take out both of these levels. And so far, we have now taken out one of these areas. And of course, that area that I was talking about yesterday was sitting at roughly around 64.2k to 64,500. So basically right around this area of resistance. And that's exactly what we saw over the last one day. We saw a small spike to the upside just to take out that liquidity. And then once we took out that liquidity, obviously we saw a slight little retracement moving closer towards this downside liquidity, which is still sitting at around 62.2k. So just keep that in mind. And with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, and right now Ethereum is continuing this major bounce from this massive area of support, still sitting in between around 2150 to 2.2k. But right now the price is moving closer towards a massive level of resistance based on a previous Fibonacci level and also previous significant support and previous significant resistance, sitting right at around 2.8k. And if we actually see a confirmed breakout on the 3-day time frame, for example, with a 3-day candle close confirming above 2.8k, then that would be an extremely bullish signal, not just in the short term, but for the longer term trend. But obviously, when it comes to the short term, as I've already been saying over the last couple of weeks, I'm still bullish in the short term as a result of this bullish divergence that I've been talking about here on the daily time frame every single day since all the way back down here when the price was below 2.3k. And right now, the bullish divergence is technically still active because we've not confirmed any invalidation signal to invalidate the bullish divergence. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 3-hour time frame, of course, just over the last couple of days, we did see the RSI enter into overbought territories, and then we saw a slight little cool off in the price and the RSI after that overbought signal confirmed, but that only lasted for barely a day. So we only saw a very slight reset here in the RSI, not really a major reset. So that only gave us a small amount of room to the upside in the RSI and the price. So we did continue a little bit higher, but this is ultimately now creating a new bearish divergence, which is something to pay attention to here on the 3-hour time frame. And now, technically speaking, you can say that this is now confirmed with 2 red candle closes confirmed. But with that being said, these red candle closes are obviously very small red candles. So we've only seen a very small lower high confirmation here in the RSI. As you can see, the RSI is relatively flat after seeing that lower high put in place. Ideally, what we want to see is a bit more of a reversal like that. So a strong high put in place like that to actually confirm the lower high in place in the RSI. Because otherwise, based on what the RSI is looking at right now on the 3-hour time frame, as I've recorded in this video, we could easily see an invalidation to invalidate this bearish divergence, because right now the RSI is sitting very close to this high, and if we see a new higher high above this high, it would have to reconfirm a new bearish divergence if the RSI is still below this previous high. And so technically speaking, this bearish divergence on the 3-hour Ethereum chart is technically confirmed, but it could easily be invalidated considering the RSI is still very close to this high right here. And so just keep that in mind. The more confirmation that we see, the more confident that we can be in the bearish divergence actually playing out properly. And so for now, we have that small amount of confirmation, which means we could see another slight little cool off here in the short term. But remember, that does not mean the end of the bullish trend. As I've said over the last few days, we can see the occasional short term cool off from time to time during the bullish trend here in the short term. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the daily time frame, right now Solana is probably retesting this previous area of resistance, which should now be acting as new support, and that's sitting in between around 138 to 143. And so far, as I've recorded in this video, it is currently acting as support since the price is basically bouncing slightly from this area. But ultimately, if we were to see a confirmed break back below around 138 in the short term, that would be a very bearish signal, likely resulting in a further drop down towards this massive area of support sitting in between 120 to 128. But once again, that would only be if we see a confirmed break below 138, which for now has not happened and should still be acting as support. And so technically speaking, while the price is still holding above 138 to 143, technically the shorter term trend is still looking bullish. But remember, during the bullish trend, we can see the occasional pullback from time to time along the way up. And so for as long as we're holding above that area that I just mentioned, the resistance to watch out for to the upside, if we see a further bounce to the upside here, is first of all sitting at around 153 to 154. And above that, we have this major area of resistance sitting in between 159 to 163. And technically speaking, this bullish divergence is still currently active on the daily time frame, considering, at least for now, we've not yet confirmed an invalidation signal to invalidate the bullish divergence. But if we're zooming further into the short term, looking at the 8-hour time frame, of course, this overbought signal is continuing to play out pretty much perfectly, as I've said over the last few days. First of all, around 2 to 3 days ago, I said it's very likely that over the next few days, we're going to see a slight pullback here in the short term, or at least a bit of choppy sideways price action. So a cool off from all of the bullish price action as a result of the RSI on the 8-hour time frame entering into overbought territories. And of course, the last few times this has happened, we did end up seeing a bit of a short-term pullback, whether it was a large pullback or just a small pullback. Basically, either way, we were due to see a bit of a reset and a slowdown from the bullish price action, and that can once again happen during a bullish trend. And so for as long as we're holding above this area, once again, in between 138 to 143, for as long as we're holding above that area, technically speaking, we can help to reset the RSI here in the short term, which can give us more room to the upside and continue the bullish trend as we continue to play out the bullish divergence on the daily time frame. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links down below this video to claim those extra bonuses. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto, no matter if the price is bullish, bearish, or chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.